So the song Treadmill of Destruction was recorded and written in the fall of 2017, I believe, in my bedroom in Tivoli, New York at the time, where I used to live. It was made in a very specific and absurd guitar tuning that had some extremely loose strings, so that the notes on the 12th fret just sounded completely different than the open strings, and that's how you get this kind of popping on the chorus. The drum track was recorded using my friend Rafi's really old drum machine, this cube drum machine that I just remember being so infatuated with and thought it was so fun. The lyrics: leaves are falling off, I'm afraid of falling down off the treadmill of destruction. Water's coming in, water's coming out, I'm afraid of falling down off the treadmill of destruction. Triggers float away to somewhere out of earshot. I was thinking at the time a lot about the storms in Florida and Texas, these giant superstorms that were causing all of the beaches and to be basically dry. The tide was just going way out, and then was coming in and flooding the entire cities. But beforehand, the tide would go way out, and it was eerie. And I was in an anthropology class called Toxicity and Contamination, where we learned about this idea that a lot of people write about, the treadmill of destruction, which mainly refers to how the military destroys landscapes and environments with weaponry, making them toxic and inhospitable, and in effect it just kind of creates more and more conflict and more destruction. A good example for me of the treadmill of destruction is how a few years ago the largest movable structure ever was built. It was a giant movable structure called the Shield, which was used to cover the site of the Chernobyl nuclear explosion. And so this high technology, nuclear energy, caused this very large explosion. And the only way to cover up this site decades later was to build the largest movable structure of all time, and to cover it, to stop toxic dust from spreading across the landscape and poisoning people. But the thing is that they know that in another couple decades, this shield is going to degrade and fall apart due to the radiation and weather conditions. And so the treadmill of destruction continues because they know in a few decades they'll have to build the next largest movable structure to cover this. At the time, I was just feeling so much anxiety about being locked in the treadmill of destruction. The destruction just gets exponentially worse and worse. But it's also a pretty pleasant sounding, sweet song. And my good friend Lucia added vocals to it, and it's a real bouncy one. I don't know if I'll ever find the guitar tuning again to play it. But when I play live, I do kind of a dance version of it, using my SP404, sampling the guitar parts, and yeah, I like that song.